At Man City Fan TV, we're really pleased to promote this wonderful sketchwork, artwork by a lady called Leslie Ross. You can follow Leslie on Twitter at 111Leslie111 and also follow her on Facebook and Twitter at 9320art.
Hi guys, it's Ray here from Man City Fan TV. Well, it's only been not even 2 days since our cup final win against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, and we're already moving on to the next game. We've got West Ham tomorrow in the Premier League, and today I'm going to talk a bit about Pep Guardiola's press conference for that game. Now, Pep has said, he started off by saying, you know, the players obviously been lifted by the victory in training. You know, it's only normal. But he himself said, you know, we're moving on to the next game. It's only one day later that we've got this game against West Ham. He was asked about what the fan reaction would be to Manuel Pellegrini, you know, how we would treat him. And he said he believed the response from us City fans would be positive and with a lot of respect, because, you know, we've got a lot of respect for Manuel. I mean, he won the Premier League at City with, I think that season we scored something ridiculous. It was like 156 goals across all competitions. And so, yes, we've got a lot of respect for him, and I'm pretty sure he'll get applauded, deservedly so. He also was asked about Samir Nasri coming back to City, and you know, Pep, you know, I think being diplomatic but honest as well, and he said Samir Nasri is an exceptional player, full of quality, and he's just happy he's back playing football. Right, moving on, push the West Ham stuff to one side, and the stuff about City. Okay, injuries now. John Stones and Gabby Jesus, they'll be back soon, so they won't be featuring against West Ham tomorrow. Maybe, you know, who knows, they might be back at the weekend for Bournemouth. Maybe not, you know, we just don't know. And the more longer term and serious injuries are to Fernandinho and Aymeric Laporte. Now, what Pep has said, he said we don't know when they're going to be back, which is quite honest, let's be frank about that. And he said they may be ready for the Swansea game in the FA Cup, which is about 3 weeks away or something like that. But he said more likely they won't be risked, and they'll come back after the international break. So basically we're looking at the end of March that Fernandinho and Aymeric Laporte will become available again. Now in that time we have 5 games, so we'll have 3 league games. We've got Bournemouth coming up at the weekend. We've got Watford, I think on the 9th of March. So we've got 3 games coming up, 3 league games, and we've also got the FA Cup game against Swansea, which I've mentioned, and the Champions League game against Schalke. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what Pep does in terms of our defence. I mean, if right now Laporte's out, well, and John Stones is out, you know, who do we turn to? We've got Vincent Kompany and Nicolas Otamendi, which would seem like the obvious options for the West Ham game. I can't really see Eric Garcia being thrust into there, and we've got nobody else available. So that looks like what's going to happen. With Fernandinho being out, obviously that's a bit more complicated. He might go with Danilo, who finished the Carabao Cup final as a kind of defensive midfielder. He might go with Ilkay Gundogan to kind of do an attacking and defensive role. He might even do what I think he's done once this season. He popped KDB back there, and we really don't know. My feeling is if Delph's not fit, it could well be Danilo, given that role, or Ilkay Gundogan. We might end up playing both of them there. One as a purely defensive guy in Danilo, and one as a half and half in Ilkay Gundogan. But it just shows the value of Fernandinho to this team, that it might take 2 players to replace him in the team. He was asked about Ben Mendy as well, and he said he's been training for 3 or 4 days and without a reaction from his knee, and so as if he said he was fit to play, but you know, you're looking at his body language, you don't really know whether actually Pep's thinking that Ben Mendy's fit to play, and if he's not fit to play, then you go back to Olex Zinchenko. Now, there's been a lot of praise for Zinchenko post the Carabao Cup final, and Pep had a quite a lot to say about the young 22-year-old Ukrainian kid. And he said about Zinchenko, he's incredible. He showed his importance and value to be a good guy, a good lad. He was close to a transfer in the summer. If you remember, that was to either Betis or Wolves. But he was close to a transfer at the start of the season. But he showed me no bad face, no bad training session. He deserves all my respect. He'll have a long career, hopefully here, maybe somewhere else. Now that really is high praise from Pep, and you know, Zinchenko's only played 4 league games this season. He's played 13 games in total. He's played 9 games in the Cups, I think 4 in the Champions League. That's not bad, 4 out of 7. And then obviously in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. And you remember his wonder goal, or you know, wonder cross that went in the net in the Carabao Cup. I think it was against Burton. So yeah, I mean, so a lot of high praise for Zinchenko. Now, if Mendy's not going to play tomorrow, I can really see it being Zinchenko. But it just shows the value of this kid. He's always smiling, he's always laughing. He seems a real fun guy to be around the group, like Mendy as well. I think the players have obviously taken to him. They tease him, they have a joke with him, they have a laugh with him, as they do with many of the other players, like you see with Bernardo Silva and Mendy as well. So I think he's a great person to have around. And as I said, it might muddy the waters of what are we going to do in the summer, because obviously Mendy, you feel you want to see the best of him, but you feel, is he trustworthy with his body, if nothing else? And you know, forget about his attitude. Is his body going to hold up? Because he's really not played for us much at all. Do we have to go and get another left back? Which is what I feel we have to do. But we've still got Zinchenko, and he is getting better. I mean, there's no denying. I mean, I've criticised him in the past for bad positional play, and I think quite rightly so. We've all got our opinions on players, and that was my opinion, that he's always got 1 or 2 mistakes in him, positionally and spatial awareness-wise in a game. But against Chelsea, he played really well. Hudson-Odoi, who I thought would skin him alive when he came on, he handled him expertly. So you never know, it might be that Zinchenko will continue to improve. As I said, he's only 22 years old, so great prospect for the future, and I think he's worth a lot more than the 15 million quid that was talked about in the summer. Well, there you go, Blues. That's a quick summary of the press conference from Pep Guardiola today. Our wonderful manager, our cup-winning manager. I mean, he talks about 2 trophies this season, yeah, about the Community Shield. Well, I'll let him talk about 2 titles. But we've got a lot of the season to still to go. 11 league games, hopefully a few more FA Cup games, and hopefully several more Champions League games. We'll be at the West Ham game tomorrow night, guys. If you're down there, come up and see Andy or me and have a chat with us. We'll be around normally at Blue Moon Cafe before the game, and around the Blue Moon Cafe and the main entrance post-game. Come up to us, have a chat, get your opinions across. We want to hear your opinions. We want to hear what you've got to say. Win, lose or draw, we want to hear from you fans. See you around, Blues.